Hey everyone, welcome to Quality Controlled, a branch of Quality Mindset, where we aren't afraid to get a little dirty to keep your project running clean. If you've ever driven past a construction site and wondered who actually makes sure that everything is built safely and to standard, you're in the right place. My name's Sam, and I currently work in the Building Sciences Quality Control Department at a Canadian engineering and consulting firm. Growing up and learning the ins and outs of construction, working from a welder in the beginning of my career, now to a specialist in the inspection industry, I always found my career progression and learning potential was bogged down by the lack of readily available, free training documentation. I will do my best to share as much information on all aspects of construction, best practices, standards, methodologies, and efficiencies that I've found over the years as I possibly can. So welcome, let's get into things, and all comments and suggestions are greatly appreciated. Personally, my career in quality control has included CWB certified welding inspections on construction sites and nuclear energy generating facilities, AMPP, formerly NACE, coatings inspections, and inspections and verification of complex building roofing and rain screen systems, property condition assessments, designated substance surveys, concrete, mortar and grout testing, compaction testing of soils and aggregates, geotechnical site investigations, environmental due diligence assessments. Today, I'll begin to break down how it all fits together. What the heck does QC even mean? Let's start simple. Quality control is the system of checks that makes sure materials and workmanship meet the standards in the drawings, codes, and contracts. Every bolt, weld, and concrete pour has to be tested, measured, or visually inspected before it can be signed off. Think of QC as the daily work, the testing, inspecting, and documenting. Quality assurance, on the other hand, is the process and planning that prevents mistakes before they happen. Creating procedures, training people, and reviewing data to make sure quality is built in from day one. On a typical project, both work together. QA writes the plan. QC makes sure it's followed. The inspector signs off and the project moves forward. So, let's look at the workflow of a QC inspector. Here's how a day on site usually looks. When you arrive, the first thing is the pre-inspection meeting. The team confirms what's being built that day, which drawings apply, and which tests need to happen. Then comes the field verification. Walking the site, checking rebar placement, confirming that the right materials are being used, and that environmental conditions are acceptable for work like concrete placement or coating application. After that, testing begins. Soil and concrete testing. Taking samples, recording slump, air, and strength results. Welding inspection, verifying WPS compliance, electrode storage, and performing visual or NDT checks. Coating inspection, using DFT gauges, surface profile replicas, and holiday detectors. Each step gets recorded in a daily inspection report, the lifeblood of any quality system. At the end of the day, those reports go back to QA for review. If everything's within spec, it's approved. If not, a non-conformance report, NCR, is issued and the corrective action begins. Why does QC matter? Good QC doesn't just prevent failures, it saves money and protects reputations. A single unchecked weld, a contaminated coating, or a mislabeled concrete batch can lead to huge costs later on. But when QC is done right, projects run smoother, rework drops. Everyone, from the client to the tradespeople, trusts the process. The difference between a good and great project is often documentation. If you can trace who did what, when and under which procedure, you can defend quality at any time. If you're thinking about getting into this field, here's what helps. Curiosity. Always ask why a process exists. Consistency. Inspections are about repeatable accuracy, communication. You'll be explaining results to engineers, supervisors, and trades. Certifications. Start with something simple, like your concrete testing certificate. These are issued by CCIL. Further to this, you can begin to develop site knowledge, work your way towards testing compaction, then you will later be trusted with soil assessments and more. As the years go on that you stick it out in your construction QC/QA career, you will realize the opportunities to capitalize in your own niche market and continue to certify your way to success are endless, and the work is in high demand. These aren't just tickets. They're proof that you care about doing things right. Quality isn't just paperwork. It's pride in workmanship and a courage to speak up for it. Hopefully, that provided you with some baseline knowledge of the flow of work and presence quality control has on real projects. Every bolt, weld, and test tells a story, and our job is to make sure that story ends with safety, performance, and integrity. Every week, I'll share lessons from real inspections, from welding and coatings to building science and materials testing, to help you build your own QC career and mindset. Quality isn't a task, it's a mindset. Are you subscribed to a quality mindset? Well, you can surely get started by subscribing to this channel today. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.